Hey, greetings everybody for AMLA 604, Motivating Students with Tech. This is an overview of Session 3, Week 3, that runs from the 21st to the 25th. This is officially our last week of instruction and new learning. You have some time between now and the 9th of August to complete assignments, but really this week is dedicated for that new learning in the Week 3 agenda. Today's synchronous session will run at the standard time, 4:30 to 6:30 Central, so later on this afternoon since I'm recording this on a rainy Monday. You'll have some time to, as a part of the week, to read more from the Miller et al. Text, and then we'll go through some of those resources on proficiency portfolios in the hub. There's an example from a former student named AMLA. We're going to run through an activity called the question formulation technique. It's one that you can replicate in your own classroom. Thanks for the 3 folks that pointed out in the survey results as like the pulse check-in during week 2 that said that Daryl designs activities that we can steal, that we can borrow and tailor and put them into play, whether it was the numbers activity or whether it's tasks like the QFT. Week 2, you actually have time for a whole day dedicated, a day of instructional time dedicated for your micro-teaching lesson. I want to revisit that hub one more time, which is linked in the summative portion, but I just wanted to highlight some things about this. So we have Team 1 that's listed here. They're sharing what their task is or their theme. We have a folder of resources that are waiting here for Sadie for her Wednesday recording with her group. They've got a time that they've landed on. And then the link. The link is something that I created. Go ahead and test that before your date and be in touch with me if that link is for some reason not working. Once at the end of our classes, for example, on our Monday sessions, it takes a little while for that video to hit the cloud, to get the closed captionings, etc. So probably I get email notices on my phone when I get them from Concordia. And when I get that Zoom link posting, I'll post it as soon as I can. So that way groups can comment on the work of others. It will include the link, and then right next door, you'll see the passcode. Feedback should be included here. With the praise push structure that's provided on that. So lots of information. So many of you are well on your way. And then just be in touch with me soon if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or even if you want feedback. Somebody's already sent me their full lesson plan and asked for very specific feedback. And I think that when students like that have done the legwork in advance and they're looking for, I really want to fine-tune this sequence, this portion of it, I think it just says a lot about your preparation that you're including. More reading here for day 3.3 or Wednesday the 23rd. And then this is an encouragement for you to begin the final reflection. It can be done one of 2 ways, and I think we talked about this in week 2 during our live session. The prompts are already listed in the summative portion. It's like 7 or 8 prompts, and then you can just bullet the list. Or if you prefer to flesh out a paper, but still hit those points, you're welcome to do that. It's up to you. Day 3.4 is Thursday the 24th. There are your prompts there for in terms of the reading and to continue on with the micro teach. And then here's the structure on that push praise feedback. This can be done in a lot of ways in target language. These are the easier pieces for Midwesterns to do. This is, I think, students thrive when we give them structures like this so that they know how to give critical feedback that is still friendly. I think that's something that kids struggle with, and peers, our professional peers as teachers. Day 3.5 here lists an additional framework from Joan Hughes. She collaborated with my doctoral advisor, Dr. Cassie Sharber, and in 2008 fleshed out what we now call the RAT framework. It's going to seem very similar to the SAMR framework that was mentioned in the Kolb text. And then I'm asking you to pick one of those frameworks and then couch one of those into your micro-teach lesson in that Moodle forum activity, and that's linked right there. It's also in the week 3 portion of the Moodle course. Again, friendly reminder to submit that reflection paper. Officially not due until 8/9, but boy, it's going to feel good if you're done with your coursework before the end of July. And then here are some extensions for class. So one of the reasons that I invited Leslie in for our very first session is because she knows how to network with people. She has a network around the country of world language educators. And that's something that takes years to build out. And ways that we can do that is by engaging in some of these extensions, like finding out more about, hey, I've heard that people are becoming Google certified and that it's basically free. You pay for an assessment, or maybe you want to engage your department in Google training as a part of your departmental professional development. Or Daryl suggested some readings. I should look back to that. And I know during grad school, and some of you are caring for aging parents, and some of you are raising young families. But if you're looking for a few reads and some reading suggestions, I have them right here. One of my go-tos is Parker Palmer's The Courage to Teach. I think if you're looking for more of a recipe of, hey, what do great teachers do? Todd Whitaker has a great publication. He's a professor out of, I think, Indiana or Indiana State. Concordia folks always like the recommendation of doing foreign language. It's a Concordia Language Villages publication, which is fabulous. And then if you're looking for like an inspirational fictional read, William McBride wrote Entertaining an Elephant, which is a quick read, and it's a good well filler walking into workshop week in August. So if you're a reader, I hope you are, and I hope that you'll continue to push yourself by continuing to learn. Those are some great ideas to share that I've heard from others and I've shared with my students. ISTE.org is that national umbrella of tech integration. EdTech journals, I have them linked that I share with our staff at Blaine High School. This is more specific to tech. So if you're writing a master's thesis, if you're getting into a doctoral program, and you want to find out which databases are going to give you some rich details for resources that you can cite as a part of your work, this is a great resource to draw from here, and share it with your media center specialist. They might appreciate that it's there. There are also some conferences that are EdTech specific. So sites like MWALT is one that's the Midwestern chapter of IALT, which is linked here as a Facebook group. That is an international language learning conference with the help of tech, and it's usually hosted by language centers. So language centers like Carla is one of our language centers here in the Midwest, housed right at the U of M campus on East Bank. And that's these two in particular are EdTech specific with world languages. So those are the conferences that I really enjoy. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. MCTLC, which is the Minnesota ACFL chapter, mctlc.org, it's linked down here, is at Metro State University in like the second week of November, so the 14th and 15th. It's a great opportunity to connect with hundreds of language teachers. If you're early into your career, that's a great chance just to sit in on sessions and scope out. They usually publish the list of sessions probably in late October that you can take a peek, and it's affordable. If you're in a grad program, they usually have a student rate, but it's usually $100 or $150 at the max. So ask your department chair or your administrator for some funds to attend that. There's a 17 state regional, it's like 17 MCTLCs together, and it's called the Central States on the Teaching of Foreign Languages. It's hosted in Chicago in spring, It sometimes comes to Minneapolis. If I'm not mistaken, in the next 5 years, it's coming to Minneapolis. And then ACFL, which is the national umbrella, is hosted in fall, usually like the late, usually right around Thanksgiving time. And 2025 is held in New Orleans this year. I've been to ACFL just one time. It was a really great experience. I'm glad I did it. It was so overwhelming. There were so many sessions. One of the best pieces of advice that I got from somebody to attend ACFL was to have like a focus. Like, I'm focused on, whatever it might be, comprehensible input. I'm focused on authentic resources. I'm focused on learning technologies, to go into it laser focused with that. And then see like who's presenting. Maybe Leslie's presenting. Maybe Meredith White, who I've referenced with resources as a part of this course. She's a frequent presenter of either ACFL and definitely Central States. Because if I'm not mistaken, she's in like Kansas. Oh, just kidding. Maybe she's in Georgia. My bad. But she frequently attends Central States, surprisingly. Let me know if you have any questions about the resources. Post into the FAQ forum if you have questions for the good of the group. Looking forward to a great week this week, and I'll see you in a few hours online, 4:30 Central Daylight Time on the Zoom link from session 3. Take care, everybody.